Hello, everyone. Welcome to Christopher's Entertainment Blog. I'm your host, Chris. Welcome back to another video for Arrow, Season 3, Episode 18. This is entitled Public Enemy. So, uh, awesome episode, guys. I mean, I really enjoyed the episode, for me personally. Um, yeah, I mean, a lot of stuff. I mean, it was like, basically in this episode, I was thinking, wow, what what is Oliver going to do? I mean, it's just like everything coming down. Captain Lance is bringing the hammer down in this episode, coming down on the Arrow, basically getting all the cop forces, the police force out there to go after Team Arrow. There was a couple bumps in the road here and there that was maybe kind of weird, nitpicky negatives, but overall, I really thought this episode was great. But you know, we see the whole opening scene from last week where I believe it was Maceo? I think it was Maceo. Maceo was shooting the arrows, killed the mayor, getting ready to shoot Felicity, and then it goes right into this episode, like right where the last episode left off. This one picks up, and we find out that Ray pushes Felicity out of the way and gets shot right in the chest. And I was like, wow. I mean, how did that not kill him? You know, we find out that he's in pretty bad shape. You know, during this episode, you know, miraculously, just amazing. I mean, he has these nanobots that can basically cure him or help shrink this blood clot that could kill him. And I was just like, oh, this is awesome, because it's science that, in our reality, and I like all this sciencey stuff. This type of science is possible, and I always love the thought that, hey, you got nanotech, and it could help with all this type of stuff. And I love that. I love that part of it, that they had these nanobots, and I like how they worked that into it. And it also, what's going to happen to him now in the future? Is this going to allow him to shrink now that he's got this nanotech? I don't know what's going to lead him to be able to shrink to an atom size. But, at some point they got a hit on that. So maybe this is it. That's cool. We got to see Felicity's mother again as well. I mean, she didn't really need to be there. She was just like some fun addition that had a little bit of, comic relief, I guess, in there. But it was nice seeing her. I like her character. That was cool. But the whole thing was to do with Captain Lance going after the Arrow. And he was, bringing the full force down. They were running him through alleyways and whatever. And he's like hell bent on like getting him now. It's just like it's weird. But after after it all went down, and Oliver turns himself in after all this, and they got him in that truck, and then Captain Lance slaps him, and just like slaps him across the face. I'm like, wow. I mean, after like months and months or years, I mean, of him getting these criminals and him doing good for the city, and then Captain Lance he comes down on him hard, saying he's a villain, and then everyone he's gotten killed. He's killed Sarah, he's killed Tommy, he killed his mother. It's just like, wow, dude, you're, it's just amazing that like the complete 180 that Captain Lance has done. I think it's a little bit ridiculous, part of it, even though I called it. I figured that he would do a 180 turn like weeks back when he found out that Sarah was dead again. So I figured that he would do this. I'm not surprised, but it just seems like, wow, dude. I mean, there's got to be like a little bit of like understandable there, all the good that he has done. I mean, he's just ready to throw him under the bus. I mean, he sees like this dude dressed up as the Arrow killing these people. He's like, oh, we got to get out there. We got to get him. He's a dangerous. He's public enemy number one. It's just like, dude. I mean, all the years you've been dealing with him, and all of a sudden you're ready to just throw him under the bus and just that's it. All because of what happened. It's just I don't know. It's a little bitchy of him, I think. It's a little bitchy. It's a little bitchy. But in the whole thing, then when Ra's al Ghul kidnaps Captain Lance and takes him to that warehouse, and it was just like, and he had to tell him that it was Oliver. He told him, he dropped the bomb. He said it's Oliver Queen, yada yada. It's just like, well, dude. I mean, you know everybody else in this group. I mean, you couldn't figure out that that was Oliver the whole time. It's like you can tell who Roy is. You can tell, your daughter is in there. But you couldn't tell that that was Oliver. I mean, they all hang out together all the time. So that's kind of a nitpicky negative there. But I mean, it's just everything is just happening. It's just there was a lot in this episode. I mean, there's been a good many episodes in recent weeks. It's just been crammed full of stuff, and this one was crammed again full of stuff. We also got the flashbacks as well. The flashback I thought was okay. It wasn't great. I loved last week's, which was Deadshot's flashback stuff. That was awesome. This week it was the deal with who he thought, or Oliver thought, was Shadow, but it wasn't. Turns out it's her twin sister. I was like, oh damn. I was really hoping it was Shadow and that she was like some type of a villain or something. That would have been awesome. But turns out it's her twin sister May. It was great having the actress back again to play that role. But there really wasn't any need for her to really be there. I mean, it was just like a setup to set up the Yamashiros getting their as my doggy comes in to look. It was just a setup to see, to get the Yamashiros to get their son back is what it was. So that's all it really was. And maybe to have closure there for Shadow, maybe? I mean, I don't know. After that, it was just like, well, see you, May. I mean, that's all you're good for is just one appearance, and that's it, really. But yeah, I mean, it was okay. It wasn't a great flashback at all. They're really spreading that whole Hong Kong flashback stuff. They're really spreading it out. I mean, just a little bit of snippets here and there. Not much going on. I'm curious to find out what point they're getting at with the flashbacks. I want to find out what the end game is with that. So I can't wait to see that in the coming episodes. But yeah, I mean, Nissa was also in this episode. She didn't really serve very much. She did an armbar on Captain Lance, and that was about it. She helped out the team, and that was it. So not much there for Nissa. I like seeing her. It would be awesome if she become part of the team. That would be great. But in the end, when they have Oliver, they have him. He turned himself in. They're taking him to jail or whatever. And it turns out that Roy basically sacrifices himself and says, I'm the Arrow. It's just like, well, I mean, it's Oliver. I mean, Captain Lance knows it has to be Oliver because Roy's always running around in the red thing. But now all of a sudden he's in the green suit. So I don't know. It's just like, okay, I mean, I don't know. It just seemed weird to me why they would take up Roy's, confession. It's just like, that confession, I mean, he knows that it was Harper in the red suit, not the green, but yeah, I mean, it looks like Roy's going to take the hit for the team for this, and should be fascinating where they go with that. I mean, it was kind of whiny on his part too, where he's just like still trying to repent for killing that officer. Was it last season, I believe? It's just like, well, I mean, you're giving stuff to his family. I mean, there's, you're doing a lot of good there, but he's just, everyone's taken a loss or taken a hit or done some type of sacrifice, and here he's still, justifiably upset. But I think he's playing a little bit too much into it. But I think I may have hit on everything this week. Should be interesting where they go with next week. And also, Ra's al Ghul's awesome. He's awesome. I loved him in this episode again. He's always a badass. So, yeah, if there's anything I might have missed, guys, please write in the comments below. But also like and subscribe. I do appreciate the support. But that will do it for me for another video, or this week for Arrow. I'll be back again next. That's right. There is no episode next week. They're off, so that's kind of unfortunate. But after the week after next, we'll be back again. But that'll do it for me, guys. I am Chris for Christopher's Entertainment Blog. Thanks a lot, guys. Take it easy.